Good evening. Welcome. Monday night, special edition of the Nick Shine Show. I am your host, Nick. Why is that volume so loud? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys for staying up, tuning in. We're going to talk about some things New York Jet related. Let me get situated here. All right. Let's mute you. Let's get that going. All right. We're all set now, folks. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. We're going to discuss some things that came out of Darren Mougeys' press conference today. What he said, what he should have said, what he didn't say. We're going to get into all of that. But first, let's do this.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
You're happy and you know it, play Blitz.
Hey, Shiners. It's a party. My house. Discord party.
Blitz got beat.
Yo, we at Sean's crib about to turn up. Music bumping, party jumping. Please someone fill my cup. We greet each other Merry Christmas. And let the jet suck while Bobby yells at Stanley.
Shut the fuck up.
Then Gary intervenes and tells them don't be mean. Eat a stick of butter every day and you'll be lean. Then Santa runs off. I hope he left some gifts because Bobby scared him off. He's on the naughty list. This whole party's lit. Nate, Clancy, many more, we hardly fit. And Addison and Weeds bought that Marley spliff. I licked on my lips cause old Jenna G make my heartbeat skip. Damn Charles Gorman, was that a fart you ripped? Too much head in you know the hot dogs and chips. Now I want my dip. Tell me where the hell is Santa? He ran so quick.
Blitz got beat.
Gentry covered in football.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, so get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button on your way in. It's free. It's easy. Helps the show out. Helps the algorithm on the YouTube. Secondly, I didn't put it in tonight's description because I was at work when I set up the show. But I will get the link and I will drop it. Go over, support our boy Blitz. First things first, most importantly, Blitz deserves all the love. He deserves all of your support. His album dropped yesterday. So get over there, download that shit. It dropped yesterday on 420, and right now we are 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the show. So I think it's perfect that at that time you disperse. Go follow him on Twitter and show our guys some love. Thirdly, I don't know where I'm at by now. Next up, we have a raffle going on. Ken O'Brien jersey, autographed. Ticket from JSA. Chad Pennington mini helmet, autographed. Certificate of authenticity from the New York Jets. And we also have a skinnier host. So any super chats, gifted memberships, all raffle entries are doubled for the remainder of the week. So this is the week to gift. This is the week to super chat. This is the week where you get the most bang for your buck. It's kind of like what Nob was looking forward to this weekend. He was interested in a 2-for-1 with midgets. Half off, 2 for the price of 1. So that's part of our journey this weekend when we get down to southern New Jersey, Ocean City, and then venture over to Atlantic City. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Jake Asman starts us off today with a membership that goes to Mr. Business. Mr. Business. Thank you, Mr. Asman, for your business, and good luck to you, sir. Thank you, Hawk. Appreciate the kind words. And for helping me. Last summer, I remember smoking a cigar on a stormy, rainy day last August. And Hawk was telling me everything I needed to do to start changing my diet and getting the best results. It took me a couple weeks to actually commit to it, but due to his mentoring, things changed around for the better. So shout out to Hawk, international man of fitness now. Addison coming in with a test. Loving him. Some upper body head resting regions. Addison, you just got 4 entries with that. Thank you. 4 entries, 4 bosoms, just for you, my friend. Good luck to you. You're the man. So, let's talk today. Mougeys at a press conference. Listen, we know every GM is never going to tell you the plan. They're going to do the GM speak, right? It's going to be very generic, very uninteresting. We've worked hard. We followed our process. We built our board. Like, you could just put in all the catchphrases that you want, right? I think it's a good thing that he's getting ahead of it and saying that we're going to pick up the options. It gives you Johnson, Wilson, and Garrett for 2025 and 2026 at the minimum. You see how they fit. You don't have to worry about any of them hitting the market in 2026. They're locked in for at least 2 more years as of now. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a real good thing. Jermaine's the cheapest at $13 million, a little cheaper than what AVT was because he was picked later in the round. Garrett Wilson, I think, is coming in around 18, and Sauce will be a little higher because he's got the 2 All-Pros. So the finances are predicated off of performance, and the only one Jermaine got, I believe, is playing time, just like AVT. They have no accolades to go around them. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nate, a member of the channel for 1 year. Thank you, Nate. Can't wait for the Jake Asman draft party this Thursday. He's my favorite Jets YouTuber. I wish he was live now so I had something to watch. Awesome. Nate, it's raining in New York. I know you're out and about on the bike. Oh, you're home. Damn it. I was hoping you got struck by lightning, but better luck to all of us next time. But thank you for your support. For a channel that you hate and a person that you hate, being here for a year is remarkable. May we all find someone who stays through the rough times like you do on this channel, buddy. You're the best. Dick. So, Mougeys, like I said, not a lot of interesting things to say. Just doing the mandatory press conference. But I think it's good that they are getting ahead of it and just saying, yeah, we want these guys. But there was a question, and I love that he shut the media down. I love it. They tried to ask about Rodgers. He's like, I understand your question. I'm only going to talk about the draft and the players on the roster right now. And the guy followed up. And he's like, oh, no, I understood your question. I'm only going to talk about the players on the team and draft right now. You know, they're not going to let go. They're not going to stop until they get a quote that they can run with. And I absolutely love that AG and Mougeys are just not going to give it. Glenn might, but Mougeys not. You don't talk about releasing someone. You don't talk about firing somebody. It's classless. It's unprofessional. You don't do that because you don't want other players to see how you treated them when they were gone. The statement should just be, we wish them well. Unfortunately, it didn't work out here. We made a decision to move on, but we wish Aaron all the best. He's had a tremendous career, and we have nothing but respect for him. Done. Simple PR line. Doesn't get you a headline. Doesn't create any issues. Doesn't show any disrespect. Very, very simple. There's no reason to give any details of what happened in that meeting. If you do that, you're a crybaby shit bastard, like Rodgers looked like. It's not a good look. Other than that, not much came out of that. Now, Schefter's tweet today. Jahadi Barron. I don't care how good he can be. You don't draft to a strength when you have this many holes. Could he be a nice slot corner? Could he be a Brian Branch type safety corner hybrid? Sure. That should be way down your list of needs with the New York Jets. Now, could he fall in round one? And maybe they jump in a round. They could jump back up in a round one if they really value him that high and use him as a safety. Yeah, but at seven, you would see, I mean, Jets fans would be trending worldwide because our reactions would be horrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't think anybody, even if you're the biggest Texas fan in the world, Gary, or the biggest Texas fan we know in Gary, even he's like, no. I don't know why Schefter put that out there. I don't know who fed that to Schefter, but that can't be considered in any way, shape, or form at number 7. You trade back, I still can't even consider it because now you're taking someone. You haven't filled right tackle. You didn't fill tight end. You didn't fill wide receiver. You didn't fill D tackle. Safety is way down the list. Way down the list. So I'm hoping that's smoke and maybe they think somebody wants that player and maybe they can get someone to jump to get him. I get it. If it's posturing, okay. But serious consideration, it would be nuts. I'll powerbomb Charles Gorman through a table and just leave the draft if that's what happens. There's no way that could be the pick. I get it. They have their vision for the team, but get some Windex, clean your glasses, and that's it. You can't go that route. I would absolutely love trading back. But even if we go back to the Saints at 9, the Cowboys, the 49ers, Indy, Pittsburgh at 21, I still can't see that player being the first person that we pick. I can't be seeing that as the guy that they want to build and start this, regime with. Shout out to our friend Wyatt with Super Chat. Thank you, Wyatt. Am I weird for not caring about the draft until I know who we have? No, you're weird for other reasons. But in all seriousness, no, there's many Jets fans who don't live, and NFL fans who don't live and die with the draft and just tell me about who we got. Don't watch draft weekend. Not everyone sits on the edge of their seat, makes it must-watch TV. I completely get that. I understand that. There's a lot of people who watch the show who love Jets content. But Rick Kent, for example, who just commented, Yeah, Rick Kent doesn't do college, doesn't want to do mocks, doesn't want to do draft talk. Tell me who we get, and then we can go from there. So you're not alone, Wyatt. But thank you for the super chat. And since I mentioned Rick Kent,
Welcome, my friends. It's a shine time. Shine time. It's time to talk.
is that playing? I couldn't hear that.
Welcome, my friends. It's a shine time. Shine time. It's time to talk about the Jets. Don't you know it's shine time? Shine time. It's shine time. Time to be with my friends. Hey, have you seen my toe?
All right, weird. I had no audio. Very weird. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Many, many fans don't care. The ones that do will talk about it nonstop. I'll be honest with you, this year with Twitter, with all of the videos and all of the postings, I've gotten out of enjoying doing the mocks. Like I'd like to do it years ago. And then now it's at the point where every scenario has been covered. Every player's been mocked to the Jets. Every outcome has been presented. And you know what? Not a single person will get it all right. Not a single one. So it's fun to do. It's fun to learn the players while doing it. But the scenarios that present themselves, very, very slim. Like we talk about how difficult it is to get a perfect bracket in college basketball. It's probably even harder and less likely, and the odds are much, much greater of getting a perfect mock. You get 3 players. One year I had 3. I nailed Becton, and I nailed Denzel Mims with the Jets' first 2 picks. And then another year previous, I think it was the year with Quinnen, I had gotten a couple as well. But even that's amazing. That's amazing hit rate. Now, obviously, the higher in the draft you are, the better chance you have of hitting it. For those of you who are members of the Discord, this is a Discord members only night. Part of the perk of being a member of the channel and being in the Discord is certain nights where we have call-ins from just you fine people. Matthew Little Fuck Smith is here. That's nice, Matthew. Where'd you get that name? I can't imagine how that name came about. Just catching up on Twitter today. Cam Jurgens signed 4 years, $68 million. Rich Samini's recap of Mougeys today. Offered little insight what they might do with the pick. Hardly a surprise. He said he expects to be a little nervous being it's his first draft, but he expressed confidence in their process, the scouts, and the coaches. Typical GM speak, right? Sounds like he's leaning on input from coaches, including position coaches. To recap, no comment on Rodgers. Gardner, Wilson, Johnson will have their 5th years exercised. No comment on potential extensions for Gardner or Wilson. We feel really strong about Justin Fields. That was the other thing. They really think highly of Justin Fields. I mean, they're not having any thoughts of competition. They said it's Fields. We believe in what Fields can do. I wonder what the input of Turner Engstrand is with that. Or Turner and Engstrand, forgive me. Did they really go to bat that strongly and say that this is the guy, we could build a scheme for him, let's get him here? Like, did they go balls to the wall and present their case to get Fields? Very curious to see what this scheme looks like and if it's predicated, built, designed to just maximize Justin Fields' skill set. Mougeys also said we'll make pre-draft calls to every team, getting a feel for the landscape, possible trades, and says they've had a great turnout for the offseason workouts. This is the part where they're working on getting bigger, faster, stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, Hawk checking in from Australia, member for 10 months. Thank you, buddy. Can Will McDonald be an every down DN opposite Jermaine instead of just a pass rush specialist? If so, that fills a hole like Dixon's ass, no diddy. Can he? Yes. I'm curious to see if Will McDonald added some muscle. I know that was something that was mentioned here and there about how he can add and build his body and get bigger and stronger. I really think the best thing for Will McDonald is adding a massive defensive tackle to him and giving him one-on-one opportunities to use his speed against a tackle. He can get upfield, spin. His spin move's very good. He can cut underneath if it is a run and crash down on the play. And if you try to kick it outside, he can get upfield. So when he gets upfield, now that opens up for Sherwood or Quincy to get through that B gap. So I like that ability with his speed that he can create a little mayhem. If you want to try to run edge runs and he gets upfield, now your linebackers don't have to worry about crashing outside. They crash upfield straight ahead. And then you can have some fun and get creative. You can do run blitzes. You can do a whole bunch of things. But I think that they would like to get a bigger D end for short downage, but I have confidence in Will McDonald to play the run if he's out there on first downs. Third and short, fourth down, obviously you want to get bigger and bulkier. Poor little Joey. I'm trying to escape. His rectal cavity is huge. Let me winks. Oh, let me winks. Let's see what we got here. Poor little Joey. Where'd he go? Bob Addison. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm trying to. Oh, it doesn't show in here. Oh, top chat. All messages visible. That's great. That's really good. Awesome. David D., one of our Detroit Lions fans popping in. A bigger D end is very likely coming to the Jets if the vision of the defense is even remotely close to AG's Lions defenses. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. There's a kid, Landon, help me, Landon Jackson, 6'7", 285 D end, might be there round two. That's somebody that I would like. If you go get an offensive tackle or a weapon, you go D tackle or D end if you want to add to that defensive line, if you want to get a little better for the run game. If you make a move and you get some extra picks, could be worth it. Hey, John Hepburn. Welcome, man. I know you watch a lot after the fact and then comment in the morning, and I appreciate that, man. But glad you were able to catch a live show. Thanks for joining. Yeah, David. Yeah, I've liked him for a bit. I know Nate made fun of me months ago. called me a size queen, but I want a big defensive end. I want a guy that could throw a D tackle around, and then you can blitz and get creative with it and use that skill set. And maybe you start using Will McDonald as not just a hand in the grass guy, but maybe you start moving him around with his speed and open him up on pass rushing downs. Listen, it's going to be fun. The thing, I know everyone's worried about the offense. I know everyone is asking about Justin Fields. How do we get the ball to Garrett Wilson? Who's the tight end going to be? What's Breece Hall's role in the passing game? Who's wide receiver 2 and 3? All valid questions. All curious to see how all this comes to fruition and how it plays out on the field. But my biggest question is, I'm a defensive coordinator. I coached it for many years. I want to see how Wilks and Glenn build this scheme. I want to see how creative they get. I was very uninspired about seeing the base passing situations, 4 guys with their hand in the grass, no sign of a blitz, no creativity. You saw Seattle get creative last year. Leonard Williams, D tackle, drops. Aaron Rodgers, 20 years in the NFL, never even saw it coming. That's creativity. That's how you catch teams off guard. You do things that you don't normally do, and that's how you win games. So I'm very, very excited to see how this scheme comes together. How much man do we play? What's our blitz percentage? Who are the guys blitzing? Are we bringing Carter off the edge? Are we sending safeties off the side? Are we blitzing linebackers? Are we 3 down linemen with someone like Will McDonald and others moving around like Rex used to do? Like, how are we creating the pressure? How do Wilks and Glenn get us to the quarterback? Do we just rely on individual talent? I think when you have creativity and ingenuity with your scheme, it's harder to stop. Sometimes your individual talent just has bad matchups and you lose those matchups week to week. What if you got 3-4 bad matchups in a row? But if you're scheming it and you're getting creative and you are causing confusion, that's where coaching makes a difference in the game, where you're not just relying on the talent. You're not just saying, put your hand in the grass and go beat your man. What if their scheme out-schemes your scheme? So that's where my attention is. Hennessy Heisman, member of the channel for 6 months. Thank you, Mr. Heisman. Trade down, number 1 option for me. Agreed. Then I'll trade down again if possible. Double agreed. Love to see us come away with 3-4 starters, tight end, O tackle, wide receiver, first 3 picks. Yeah, I mean, Hennessy, this Jets fan base is very opinionated. We love to argue. We love to voice our opinions and voice our displeasure when someone drops a take that we don't like. But there are not many Jets fans who disagree with tight end, tackle, wide receiver, first 3 picks, or at worst, 3 of the first 4. If you throw a D tackle in there somewhere, I think everyone's okay with that. Those first 4, tight end, tackle, wide receiver, D tackle, I think you're going to find a lot of people are in favor of that. What does that mean? It means that it's obvious to all of us where the needs are on this team. And you got to get starters. If you can get 3 of those first 4 to be starters immediately, and then your D tackle's rotationary who then fills in to become a guy who is the man, that's great draft to start. If a defensive coach goes to 3 offensive guys in his first 3 picks, of course it would happen, but I don't know. I think you mean I don't know if it. Well, yes, Aaron Glenn's a defensive coach. But He's also the head coach now, Clarence. And if you're going to be a successful head coach and you look at the way of the league, you have to score points. So a good offense helps your defense. He had a good offense in Detroit. They put up a lot of points time and time again. We need both sides. All three levels of football, offense, defense, and special teams, need work. There's nice pieces, but they're not a finished product by any way, shape, or form. So if you build up that offense and you get that dominant run game and you rest that defense and you have Jermaine, Quinnen, Will, and others rested come the fourth quarter where they can go out and they can win the game. Let me break this down. Last year, everyone's hammering the defense. They gave up drives in the fourth quarter. They blew the game. Why? We had no run game. Our time of possession wasn't very good. And they tired out by the end of the game. Yeah, we can all say what happened, but why? When you're not running the ball, you're not resting your defense. There's ways to get better with just coaching alone. And that's one of the ways that I think this team can improve. Time of possession, control the clock, rest the defense, have them be fresh for late in the game. As fresh as NFL players can be, right? Clancy, I'm going to tell you something, man. I think any sort of cornerback, any linebacker, any quarterback, any running back before round 5 is going to really be a head scratcher. And you guys know me. I can make sense. Even if it's not a popular opinion, I can look from the organizational side of things and make sense of it. I would be swinging and missing. I don't think that they should address that. Like, they were pretty prudent in free agency, 1-year deals, short fill the gap guys. I get it, but you can't go into your season with an unproven Carter Warren who you've never even really seen take a rep. You can't go into your season with Max Mitchell at right tackle. You can't go into your season with Corley playing a big role. You can't go into your season with Jeremy Ruckert being tight end 1. You have to upgrade the talent on these positions because their value in the NFL nowadays is so great. And the big fella. And on that note, Jackson Dart at 7. I can't see it though, man. I can't see it. And here's why, big fella. I can't see the Jets. I can't see Mougeys and Glenn tying themselves and their regime to the boat of Jackson Dart. You don't attach yourself to that. There's too many questions. There's too many questions. Don't do it. Build the team, complete the offense, and then next year, when it makes more sense, you either have one of two things. Justin Fields hit. He played like Sam Darnold. You have your quarterback of the future. Or you trade up and go get a quarterback that fits that what you want to do, where you don't have the questions and you're completely head over heels and think that the guy can do everything that you want him to do. You don't draft a question mark at your quarterback. I still love you though, Bill. Yeah, David, it's difficult to win when a defense is on the field for close to 40 minutes. That's why you saw so many breakdowns last year. No running game. Breece Hall wasn't allowed to be effective. too many changes and checks at the line of scrimmage. Domino effect. It doesn't work. When you're making all these changes and checks at the line, if it works and you're scoring, it's great. But it wasn't working. And that negatively domino affected the running game, the red zone offense, the defense. John says, wouldn't mind trading back, pick up extra draft capital, get Golden, then your offensive tackle, Gunnar Helm in a third. John, my dream scenario is a double trade back. It's trade back to the Saints at 9, let them get a quarterback, and then trade back again with either anyone in that 12 to 15 range, Dallas, 49ers, Indy, Atlanta. Do a double trade back. I'm fine with it. I would love to come out of this draft with a second rounder in 2026 on top of an extra 3 this year. Or maybe even if Pittsburgh wants to come up. Man, that would be a dream scenario. If Pittsburgh gives you, I think they gave up a 2 this year for Metcalf. So they would have to give up a 3, next year's 1, and maybe a 3 next year also. If you go into next year's draft needing a quarterback and you have 2 1s, 2 3s, you have all the ammunition you need to go up and get the quarterback if you win 7, 8 games this year. If you're picking where we're picking now, we're at 7th, you have the ammunition to go get your guy. And there's so many good quarterbacks next year, you might not have to get to 1 to get them. David says Loveland could appeal to Sean McVay if he lasts to 26, another weapon for his passing game. I don't know if Loveland gets there. If we take Warren, Loveland's not getting past Indy. Thank all of you for watching. We got 52 of you watching here right now as we approach midnight on the East Coast, of course. Make sure you hit the like button. We only got 28 likes with 50 people watching. What are we doing, folks? Don't make me 6 stack on you. Also, members of the Discord, the link is in there. I posted it in the lobby. Feel free to join. Let's talk Jets. Alan says, I do not think the Saints take a QB in round 1. That's fair. Jets have no 3s next year. Why did we lose a 3 next year? Reddick is next year. Yeah, but we could get a 4, right? We could get a 4 and have 2 4s. So if we trade with Pittsburgh and get a 3, we'd have 2 1s, a 2, a 3, and 2 4s next year. Okay. Matthew Little Fox Smith, Hassan Small Dick. Okay. Clancy, yes, aren't we getting one back? The comp pick is projected to be a 4. I don't think so. I believe if you Google projected 2026 comp picks, it has the algorithm and everyone as of now up to date. I think it was the value of the contract. David says, Alan, I think Harbaugh would seriously consider Loveland, but I think another Michigan player, Kenneth Grant, will be his choice. Yeah, I like Kenneth Grant. I like Kenneth Grant a lot. Aside from offense, okay? A player that I'll give you 3 players that I absolutely love. Like if you're going to call Nick Shine's guys, Kenneth Grant, Collins from Texas, and Deion Walker. If we get any of those 3 guys at defensive tackle, oh, I'm going to be so happy. I get it. Grant would be for a trade back. It means we didn't address offense in round 1. I get it. But I think if you add any of those 3 players next to Quinnen, you're opening so many things up. You're really creating opportunities for everyone. If you add even Tyleek Williams, you throw him in there with that too. You get me any 4 of those guys, I think you take this defense to another level. I think you see all pro Quinnen come back because the double teams will disappear. I don't think Quinnen's game slipped. I don't think Quinnen stopped playing when he got paid, like some horrible takes out there have said. I just think that you broke down the D-line, you broke down the pressure. And it was easier to double him. And then when Jermaine went out, it was even easier because you had Michael Clemens, who was a non-threat. Jay Quest. Thank you, Jay Quest, for the super chat. Let's support Nick, who's been working all day and comes on right after work. Shiner for life. Hell yeah, man. Thank you for that, dude. I do. I work. I come in the door. I literally make a coffee, change real fast, and hop on the air for you guys. I really enjoy this. I love the wind down of my day by hanging out and talking ball with you guys and gals. And I appreciate you being here. You know, I'm like I keep saying, I'm humbled by how many people still show up after the shift change and the schedule change. You guys are awesome. And thank you, Quest, for the super chat. That gets you 2 entries. 2 entries. This Sunday, we're raffling off the Ken O'Brien jersey, the Chad Pennington mini helmet, and I am working on the next raffle. Since we're doing quarterbacks this one, I'm thinking doing running backs. I saw a piece of memorabilia for Freeman McNeil that I might get, and I'm able to get a Curtis Martin mini helmet. So I think we might go to running backs next. And maybe we do by position. As always, let me know what you guys think. You know, would you be interested in that? We do like a Freeman McNeil, Curtis Martin, and we'll do the same thing where the first winner gets their choice. If you're old school, you know, maybe you want Freeman McNeil jersey, you know, or you want a Curtis Martin helmet. But I think it'd be cool to give people options to choose which prize they want if they win. So, Quest, you're in for 2 on that. Thank you. Lee Van. Lee Van will be with us for the Yankee game with Craig on May 3rd. Last 2 weeks of the show have been awesome, Nick. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad to see you back in the chat on the regular, man. Nice addition to the chat. Big fella, stop gifting memberships, you bastard. That Kenny O jersey is mine. I don't want to see the big fella upset, but everyone should upset him right now. Everyone make the big fella upset. Lee Van, I want the Martin helmet. Alan, Sean Green jersey. Alan, I'm sure you can just get an Iowa Sean Green jersey, and that might be. That's another question I had for you guys. Would you be interested in New York Jets players with their college stuff? You know, like a Quinnen Williams Alabama jersey, a Joe Namath Alabama. You know, would you guys be interested in college? Oh, one legend just pissed off another legend. There is war going on in the chat right now. Rick Kent says, you know what, big fella? I want the Kenny O'Brien jersey. Rick Kent, the legend himself, gifted 5 channel memberships. That went to Philly's Limp Noodle, Thunder Lips, Green Bean the Jet Fan, followed by Project Prospect with Dom C. How awesome is that? And Rick Kent, as always, gifted my account. That's not Nikki. That's me. When it's Brown, that's my personal account. So, Rick, you know the deal. I will gift And Addison throwing up the Dukes saying, come get it, big fella. I want that Kenny O jersey. It went to Jets fan since birth, Big Islanders fan, Mother effing Chew, Joshua Ra, and TT Wims. Thank you, Addison. Thank you, Rick Kent. Good luck to everybody. Big fella sitting there at home right now, like, man, these guys are getting memberships. So the 5 memberships, which usually gets you 6, is now getting you 12 entries. So Rick and Addie just got 12. Lee Van, you got 4. I'll be doing a lot of typing after the show. I thank you, everyone. And I wish all you guys could win. I really, really do. I'll do my best going forward. Maybe I add a third prize with the running backs. I could also maybe get my hands on a Thomas Jones. So we'll go Thomas Jones, Freeman, Curtis Martin. More chances to win. And I'll do everything I can to give back to you guys. You guys are tremendous. And it looks like you guys are enjoying this. I know the last week we double everything. And it seems to be something that you guys are interested in. So, yeah, Freeman McNeil. I had a Freeman McNeil jersey when I was a kid in the 80s playing at 30 West George Place in Isla, New Jersey. And I loved pretending to be Freeman McNeil. I used to have my first like Nerf football. It was half red, half black, and like the dog would get a hold of it. There was little bite marks out of it. But I used to just love doing moves out on the front lawn. What is going on right now? Ladies and gentlemen, Addison talking trash across the country saying, hi, big fella. Addison, you just got 4 more. And ladies and gentlemen, the big fella dropping a $50 super chat saying, I am bringing the smoke. Big fella, that just got you 30 more entries. Big fella's not fucking around, ladies and gentlemen. He wants the jersey. He's saying it's mine. Come and get it. Don't come and get it. Back the fuck off is what he's saying. Big fella, that's awesome. Yeah, it's usually 15. You got 30 with that. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, Addison said, I love to smoke. Big fella says, I'm bringing the smoke. Addie's like, don't worry, bro. I got my own smoke. Jay Quest, your commission check will be in the mail, bro. Don't worry. I'll put a bet together for us. I'll cook up a big parlay for us, all right? But Addie, big fella, like, all right. I think you both need to go to the lobby of the Discord, click the link, and bring your battle on air right now. That's tremendous. You guys are awesome. Holy shit. Big fella just dropped $100 super chat, which, according to my calculations, I just saw Johnny. Good luck, Johnny. You know what, Johnny? I'll throw you one. All right. So let's figure this out. $100 super chat would normally be 30. Now it's 60. So big fella got 60. Big fella just got 90 entries tonight so far. Smoke champ. Anyone got smoke? Anyone say smoke? Yeah, like I think this is incredible. This is amazing. Jay Quest comes in. Nick, I want 10% of all super chats after mine. Oh, wait, I'm not Bobby. Never mind. Rick Kent, over 25. Woo. Guys, you guys are fucking incredible. All of you. Thank you. Now you're just going to make me buy jerseys for... Holy shit. Rick Kent. Just because. Guys, I'm speechless. Like, I don't even know what to say. I am honored. I am shocked. I'm entertained. Not edutained, because I'm not special. But guys, this is tremendous. Rick, you just got 60 entries as well. And I don't... Shut up, not now. You guys deserve it. You guys deserve it. I hope all of you win. I'll find a way to get all of you who just did all that some sort of prize. If you don't win after gifting $100 super chats, I will send you prizes. I will find something. It'll be the picture that we did of the Last Supper with all of us at the game. We'll get the picture and I'll autograph it and send it to you. Do something. Addie, Rick Kent. Let's go through this. All right. That happened so fast and furiously. I will admit, I'm not used to that. That's tremendous. I don't even know what to say, but Rick Kent, Jay Quest, the big fella, Addison, the big fella, Addison, Rick Kent, Lee Van, Jay Quest, Wyatt, Addison, Jake. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are fucking awesome. Just for, you know what? You guys are so great that I will boot weed from the Discord so we can all have a normal conversation without getting interrupted for 1 week. That's my gift to you guys. Addison, he's my friend. He's the man. He smokes weed better than you can. Yeah, Lee. See, the issue, Rick and Addison wanted to come. Craig from Australia is going to LA, and they're going to be together for the draft. So we'll get them here. They'll be out here. We'll do something where we get everyone together. Beth Page Chris asked a very good question. At this point, I might just have to. I don't even have to raffle them off. I'm just going to give them away at will. Michael. Whoa, Nick pulling a Jake here. So, Michael, if you ever heard weed talk in the Discord, you would be like, makes sense. Now I get why he's proposing this. He's not booted from YouTube, but in the Discord, he might have to be server muted for a little while. Guys, will somebody fucking click the link and come on here and talk with me? I don't even know what to say. Like, all I do is talk all day, and like I'm actually at a loss for words right now. So please, someone, hop in and join. I get sunburned? Fuck, I got a little color on the neck? Look at that shit. Look at that. Someone, if they saw me, would call me a redneck, but we don't support that. Guys, you are absolutely fucking tremendous. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. So I'll just pale in comparison to you fine people, but I'll gift some memberships right now just to thank you guys. Son of a bitch. Anyone but you. All right. So I gifted 5. They went to Scott. Oh, that just, what happened? The ad popped up. Scott Einiger, Jets 830, Raul Havana, Ray Jet 62, and Shiazi 29. As Sarah taught me to say, Shiazi. Yeah, Clancy, you're right.
What the fuck, man?
Dude, I had to do something.
Hey, if you really want to do it, I'll accept it. I got pretty rowdy. It was my bad.
You're good. You're good. Chris Bradigan just talked about you today with Yeti. We were on Bobby's show earlier and mentioned some of the longtime viewers of the channel. And your name came up as one of the people who were there a long time ago. Matthew Smith, Yeti, Chris Bradigan, Johnny Boy, and several others. But yeah, your name came up, man. That's great that you popped up tonight. What's up, bro?
Not much, dude. How was your night?
It's great.
Mine too.
Great.
Went pretty well.
Easy day at work. I didn't ask. I don't care. It's about me. It's my show. You actually didn't talk. The time I wanted you to talk, you sit there in silence. Oh, you're nervous right now about being booted from the Discord. You're on good behavior.
I don't know what you're talking about, Nick. I'm not sweating or anything.
Oh. What, did you freeze like that?
I might have. Am I frozen?
Yep. Dodging and weaving from the police.
Make sure I'm not. I'm trying to get away from Gorlock the Destroyer, but she won't leave me alone.
She's everywhere. You can't. The gravitational pull is too strong.
It's unbelievable.
Hell yeah, Chris. Good to see you, man. Do you have any takes, or are you just looking to hang out?
You said nobody called in after you said you were going to boot me from the DP, so I was like, I gotta call in.
All right, well, I'm going to add Ricky.
So I'm here.
I'm going to add Ricky with you then.
Hey, what's happening, Weed?
What's up, Ricky?
Not a whole lot. It's funny, like right when
Hi, Ricky.
Hello.
He comes out and says, "Hey, what's up, Weed?"
Talking to you.
It's Nick's show,
I was
Ricky.
ignoring you. I was actually, after I said hello to him, I was actually speaking to you. But,
I know. I'm just teasing.
Like,
I just thought that was funny.
As I reached up for the laptop, and right as I was getting ready to click the StreamYard link, I heard you say, "Oh no, anyone but you," and I was like, "Shit! How can he see? How can he see? I didn't even log in yet." How you guys doing?
I'm
Pretty good.
I'm awestruck by what the chat just did. You know, with Addy, Rick, big fellas
Amazing.
it is.
No, I was going to call in, but when I read the chat and I saw Rick Kent say that he would take a Chad Pennington jersey, I had to go over to the closet real quick and pull this one out.
Nice. Had a black one?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I got
That's sweet.
black.
When
one
did we
with
have black back then?
We did,
I don't think we
but
did.
NFL Shop made like a special version one that they sold for a little while.
Okay.
So I got this the black one with the green stripes and the white letters and white name. I got one for Pennington and Curtis Martin, but I've also got a Rebus one like this too.
I actually have a Santonio Holmes 10 jersey, and every time I wear it, people think it's a Chad Pennington jersey.
You know what? That's why being a smoker is awesome. Santonio Holmes was a smoker, and so Pittsburgh said, "Oh my goodness, you smoke weed? We can't have you here," and sent him right on over to New York, which is awesome.
All right, we'll take them. You can smoke anything from weed to crack. As long as you score fucking touchdowns, you're good to go.
I don't know if I would go that far. But
I mean,
Ricky, you got to understand, weed marches to the beat of a one-armed, one-legged, one-eyed, no rhythm drummer. So don't really pay attention to much.
I take everything to the extreme, and I don't appreciate you talking about my uncle like that.
Man, I really, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm speechless. So I'll leave it to you, Ricky. What do you got? What's your take? I saw your text after. I know you popped in the DP before. There we go. I'm starting to focus again. Okay. My phone was in my pocket when you were in the DP because I was Zamboni at work. But I will. I'll try. But with all the commotion and everything going on, I wouldn't count on me because there's going to be a lot going on. And then after we make the pick, he asked me to help out and be like his producer and run who's getting on air with them and when. So I might not be the most reliable for that. I would say check. You have.
I'll have a backup plan for sure.
Yeah, if you have Twitter on your phone or X on your phone, just sign up for alerts for Samini, Connor Hughes, and that will come in quicker because Connor Hughes is the guy to follow. Connor Hughes tweets it out before the pick gets announced on air.
Really?
A lot of the people, because the NFL media, when the team submits the pick, all NFL media gets alerted. The NFL teams and the media get alerted of the selection. Right. Some writers tweet that. Now, television, they got to get the jersey with the name or whatever, and they got to get all that. They make the phone calls. The phone call in the back happens. But if you really want to know ahead of time and you're not watching the broadcast, that's like a backdoor. That's why I'm probably going to put my phone away in the bag and not have it on me because I am somebody who doesn't have patience and will be looking ahead. So I kind of want to live it in the moment with everyone there.
You know what? I'm thinking about it now. You bring up an interesting point. You know how they have to have the walk up and the T-shirt and the whole thing at the draft. Now, the draft this year is in Green Bay, correct?
Yeah.
Man, I wonder if the draft is going to go faster because, usually at the draft, there's all this, other stuff going on. So they'll cut to this person here, that person there in between picks. And I mean, I guess technically the clock will tick down the same amount of time. I guess it'll go by. But I know when a lot of times for the draft, there'll be all kinds of things going on around town. And I don't know. Green Bay is just, it's a little town. I don't think they're going to be able to put on the show that some of the cities do as far as the draft.
Oh, I don't think so. I think they'll have a whole bunch. They'll have their pre-tape segments for as the weekend goes on. They'll have the nostalgia of Green Bay. And don't forget, round one, there's so much time in between each pick that they'll have plenty. They'll do the little video packages of each player. They'll do their recaps. They'll do the projection for the next pick. I think there'll be plenty of time.
Right. Because I know the draft hasn't been here, but even when the Super Bowl comes here, they have the whole Super Bowl experience and everything that goes on all week before that. Dude, when the Super Bowl comes to town, it's it brings a little miniature industry with it. I actually worked at the last one, just parking cars and shit. But
that's where the cheese factory.
Yeah, it's crazy. Which the last one that was here that I got to go to was the one with the Santonio Holmes catch when they beat the Cardinals, and then a couple of months later, all of a sudden he was a Jet, and it was holy shit, that's crazy.
Good point.
That's you know what? That's something I'm looking forward to is us bringing in some more weapons to go along with Garrett because I liked it when we had Santonio Holmes and Braylon Edwards together. I liked having a good system.
They were a great
Another
compliment,
weapon
right?
would be great.
They were a
Yeah.
great compliment to one another. You know, like Braylon and Holmes was like, it reminded me all the time of Keyshawn and Corbett. You had the big physical guy, and then you had the guy who can work his way over the middle. You know, obviously Holmes was a lot more explosive and faster than Corbett, but Corbett was so savvy that, you know, that combination of the two of them was just fantastic.
Yeah, and I remember, God, I want to say it was probably right around the time that we switched over from Vinny to Pennington. Maybe it was a little before that, but I was watching Corbett one time, and they were talking about how fearless he was, you know, going over the middle, catching the ball, and Corbett was like, "I'm a receiver. My job is to catch the ball. You know, if I don't catch it, I'm probably going to get hit anyway. So if you're going to get hit anyway, why not do your job and catch the ball?" Like, you know, he was like, that's the number one thing is to come down with the ball. And I just love that attitude. Like, you know, he was like, you're going to get hit anyway. Might as well catch the ball. And I just love that quote. And
yeah, it's great. Real quick, Alan. Okay, he just mentioned it in the chat. Alan told me this weekend, I don't know if I could say this, but now that he's mentioning it on air, Alan has a good friend who has invited Alan, and Alan will be in the Dallas Cowboys facility in the room during the draft. So he's got to lock up his phone. He won't have any access to his phone, but he will be there. Gentlemen, give me 1 minute. I'll bring you right back in.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
It's cracking.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to the shop, but I mean, Big Fella and Rick Kent, I thought that $100 super chat, I needed some money for pot, so you guys could have the extra 60 or whatever the fuck. Good luck.
I appreciate you, man. You're the man.
Hell yeah. Hell
you know
yeah.
you're gonna get a guilt trip text in the morning, but
fuck it. It won't be the first and it won't be the last. I'm ready.
Ah, I see what you did for next time. Must have a nice time. Very nice of you.
But I'm on my way home, and if you're still on, I'll be back. Like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm staying on until Rick Kent and the Big Fella say goodnight.
Hell yeah. All right.
You know, if you want to come in, you come in. But when Big Fella and Rick Kent say goodnight, that's when the show will start winding down, because there's no way I'm cutting their night short after what they did. And I know you'll come on when you get here. And if it's not here, I know we'll be talking in the DP all night.
Probably. But yeah.
Bastard. Well, you know what, Rick Kent?
No, it's 9:30. Not even 9:30 over here. Fuck that, Rick.
But yeah, do your thing. Get home safe. Thank you.
Yeah.
And pop in when you get back.
Hell yeah. Love you.
All right.
Peace out,
Love
guys.
you too, buddy. Thank you. Peace.
Hell yeah.
Welcome, my friends. It's a shine time. Shine.
Wrong click. I am a dick.
Welcome, my friends. It's a shine time. Shine time. It's time to talk about the Jets. Don't you know it's shine time? Shine time. It's shine time. Time to be with my friends. Hey, have you seen my toe?
Thank you. I know Weed would have talked over me trying to thank Addison the whole time, so I just figured it's easier to bring Ricky. I know you wouldn't have, but I just figured it's easier to remove both and bring it back together.
I'm trying to find a screenshot of Big Fella because I have a graphic going, so I wouldn't have said anything to you. I actually commented in the chat instead of talking. Okay.
Well, you're very unpredictable.
But that is true. When's the last time Big Fella was on screen? I need to find. I need a screenshot of him.
Sunday night.
Probably during the tournament on Jake's
Friday
show.
night. Friday night. He was on here. Yeah, Friday night. half hour, 40 minutes in Friday night.
Damn, you're like Boomtown now, Nick.
I care about my program.
You do.
I played short-term memory loss.
Yeah, Rick Kent, Addison, big fella came on Friday night.
By the way, Nick, last night at work, we had a machine that broke down like bad. So I was actually standing in one place fixing it for over an hour and a half. So that number that I texted you would normally probably be much higher than that because I'd be back and forth more. So I'm
going to tell everybody. Ricky texted me yesterday when he had just gotten to work, and he's like, "Hey, I got a question for you. What's like a good number of steps to like get in a day?" I'm like, well, for me, like what I do, if I get between 12 and 15,000, I'm happy. Today I got to like 19,000 and like 100. I was trying to hit 20, but I just didn't get there. Not gonna lie, earlier in the day I wasn't moving as much as I could have, but I just said I'll kick ass later. But if I'm in that school again tomorrow, I'll definitely hit it. But Ricky, I was like, yeah, like that's pretty good. He's like, oh, all right. Text me after his shift's over. Ricky did 38,000 steps. I don't think Clancy has done that this calendar year.
I haven't done that in 2 calendar years. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, at my job when I'm not, I'm constantly running back and forth doing different stuff. But even when I'm not doing that, my job is basically to walk back and forth and make sure all the machines are running like they're supposed to. And like when those things break down, because machines that make hose, they got water spraying on them to cool the plastic and make it harden up. Dude, if you don't get there like right when it breaks down while that plastic is still hot and comes off easy and that shit gets hard, I mean, my hand, that's exactly how that happened to my hand, is using a razor knife and try to cut that hose off. Terrible. Real pain in the ass.
Well, I hate to hear you got injured, but I can't resist the joke of hopefully you get there in time when it gets hard because you don't want to cut the hose off. It's a layup, guys. I had to. That's like Jordan. It's an easy dunk, but I'm gonna go around. Quick off-topic question from Chris. Non-Jets question for me. How did you feel about the terrible finish of WrestleMania? I think I could see it from the fan aspect that everyone hates it, that the rapper got involved. Travis Scott, is that who it was? I think it's horrible that he had any impact on it, but I get it from a business aspect. Now Travis Scott is tweeting that out. That's going viral. And people who might not usually be interested are. They know they got their diehards involved. The whole thing that Triple H is trying to do now is branch out into other sectors with The Rock in Hollywood, Travis Scott, the rapper. They purchased AAA Wrestling in Mexico, Joe Hendry coming in from TNA. They're trying to just take every revenue source they can and build it up as big as they can. I think after last year's WrestleMania finish, which was the greatest ending to any match I had ever seen with everyone who got involved, it's tough to duplicate that, and you don't want to insult last year's finish by trying to. But as long as Cody Rhodes lost, I'm happy. But I did see tonight that Randy Orton RKO'd Cena, so maybe he'll hand it off to Orton. But,
I haven't watched wrestling in so long. I don't even know who's popular these days. It's been ages since I watched wrestling, I think.
It's been at least 10 to 15 years since I watched it.
You are so high, you have no concept of time. So why are you even trying to do so?
No. When it's that far back, I can remember. It's my short-term memory that shot Nick. My long-term memory is rock solid. I don't know what the fuck I was doing 5 minutes ago, but 5 years ago, I can probably tell you the exact date and time I was at a place.
Yeah, I'm pretty much that same way. But yeah, like The last time that I was watching wrestling, like, shit, I think Mr. Perfect was still alive. And weirdly, I was meeting a lot of wrestlers at that time. We had Rick Steiner and Big Boss Man came into the one place where I worked. We met Jim Neidhart, which he lives here. But yeah, like
He passed away.
Who's that?
Neidhart.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Perfect's dead now too.
Oh yeah, he died in like 2002, I think.
Yeah, like probably 3 miles from where I'm sitting right now. He was here in my hometown when he passed away.
Oh man, what a shame. It sucks how many of those guys. My theory has always been that the reason that Hulk Hogan is still alive is because he never stopped doing the steroids.
Right.
All these other guys stopped doing it, and it crashed their heart. And he's just still pumping it. That's what she said.
Jeez, he's still plugging away. That's actually a pretty decent theory. Actually, I've never even considered that.
Everyone who stopped died. Everyone.
Right.
I think you might be onto something here, Nick.
Every single person who stopped died.
Or they
OD'd, or they mixed something with it, and they died, right? So that's the only theory that makes sense is that he still takes them, and that's why he's still going. You crash your heart when you stop it, or you combine it with other shit.
That could be. Like, I'm sitting here thinking about it right now, and yeah, you're right. I definitely see a pattern there.
It's a pretty fucking legit theory you got there, Nick. Have you thought about writing a book about it? You can be the next Will Smith.
Who do I get to smack? Can it be you?
If you make enough money, yeah.
Right. Hank G says Luger is still alive. Might be. Is Luger really alive?
Is he?
Like, Ricky's got more muscle mass than Lex Luger at this point.
Ricky's been stuck on the space station for 3 years.
He's definitely dead. If that's the case, he's definitely dead then.
Lex Luger now compared to what Lex Luger used to be, he is a pencil man. You're thin and frail. That's why, like I'm saying, it's like you might be more bold than him.
Sid Vicious is dead too, right?
Psycho Sid. I think Psycho Sid just died recently.
Yeah.
I think within the last year. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. God, dude, I'll tell you what, that will be one wrestling match I'll never forget is when he broke his leg. Fucking so brutal. Dude, you know what? He had that injury. Jordan Travis's injury looked just like Sid Vicious when it broke. I had the same exact thing happen to me. I broke my leg, looked just like that, like Sid's flopping around. Insane. Like when I got to the hospital, like the doctor's like, I'm pretty sure I can save your leg. And I was like, pretty sure? I don't want to hear pretty sure right now. And he was like, listen, you're probably a 9.5 out of 10. He was like, if the bone was sticking through or it was any worse at all, I would have just taken it from the knee down and not thought twice. And luckily I did get to keep my leg, but weirdly, like the NASCAR driver that I follow, he had the exact same injury as me as well. Like not even a month after I broke my leg. While it took me like 8 months to be able to walk again without crutches, in a couple of months, this dude was back in the car, got enough points to make the playoffs, and went on to win the championship that year, even after breaking his fucking leg.
When you got millions of dollars, shit like that's possible.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say his physical therapy was probably much more intense and involved than mine.
That's crazy.
you guys can actually see what I did for physical therapy right now. But yeah, I got weed. Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Nice.
Luckily, I got to keep my leg. Ironically, that's exactly what Nick wished he could have said about his toe.
Whatever. Wasn't God's plan. I'm all right with it.
Hey, man, if he needed that toe, he needed that toe. There's a divine mission for that toe.
You know
All
what?
right.
Recently, when I thought I was going to lose my finger, I was wishing it was a toe instead. A toe I could probably deal with, like one of your finger, especially your pointy finger. Like you don't realize how much you use that for shit until you can't.
Yeah.
That's what she said. But,
Not to
gentlemen,
me.
I have a very special caller on the line. So I hope that you guys stick around and listen to it. Someone we haven't heard from in a very long time is making a special appearance tonight, pre-draft. So
I actually just finished the graphic, so when you're before you wrap up, bring me back on and I'll show it.
sure. But Ricky, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good night, Nick.
You too, buddy. Be good. Do you want to air it now?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I gotta screenshot it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I
I
hope he can
apologize
stay.
that you have to look at this human being, if we can even call him that. Have they classified what you are yet, or are they still doing research?
I prefer Homo sapien.
We'll just call you
No,
Homo
they
for
got me up
short.
there with Bobby and Mikey somewhere.
We'll just call you Homo for short. It seems to fit. That's what he said.
And my brother called me that most of my life. We're good.
Oh, the missing link from
So
parts
you're
unknown.
You're half wrong. Or half right. What we got here? Where is it? Yes, it fits. All right, there we go.
Dun, dun, dun. Drum roll, please.
I got like 30 tabs open. Give me a break.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
And
Bring
it's
on-
perfect because they were all on Friday night as well. So that was easy for you, right? You got all of them in one shot?
Yeah, I did. Well, Addison, I already had that saved in my fucking folder, but Rick Kent and Big Fella, that's both like the same frame with the same fucking thing.
Oh, that's really good. Somebody please screenshot that, crop that for me so I can add that to the show here.
I'll fucking send it to you.
Yeah, you can do that too. I didn't know how much left you had in the brain. I don't like to overload you, but very well done, my friend. You're the man. And you got
Love
a
you, brother.
perfect face for me too. That's great. Move out of the way again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been saving that.
Yeah. What was I
That was
doing? Do you remember? What
Yeah.
created that?
Yeah, it was like 6 months ago. You were like, you're like, all right, guys, you want a face, a screenshot, do this. I have like 4 different ones of you going like,
Oh yeah, I did a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I posed for you one night.
I still got them all. I've been
Nice.
saving them.
There you go. We'll update them so you can get some without the beard.
That works.
All right, buddy. Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, peace. Ladies and gentlemen, after months of not calling in to any show, I bring to you tonight at 12:43 Eastern Shine Time. Alan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you, man?
I think Charles got me sick because ever since Saturday I've been like 102. So I just wanted to call in because I really had a good time with you on Saturday and Charles is an interesting guy, I'll tell you that. But
Very.
I like talking ball. As you know, I'm a big Genty guy.
Yeah.
And if he's there and the Jets don't take him, I'd be shocked, honestly. if you can get a playmaker at 7, you go get him. But I have a feeling the Bears are going to move up with the Patriots and go get him.
I think the Patriots take him. I think Vrabel's used to having a stud running back, and I think Vrabel's going to say, I want this guy. Get me this guy so I can have my young quarterback and my young running back.
The reason I'm not as sure is they had so much money, cap space, and they spent what, 24 million on Morgan Moses. Their offensive line is so bad that I have a feeling that Drake May is going to get murdered this year. I do.
That's another reason why you get a running back that you can give the ball to 25 times, right?
I love the guy, and listening to people poo-poo him for the Jets, if he's there at 7, you got to take him. What worries me about the 7th pick for the Jets is when people talk about Warren and Membu, I don't think either of them have great traits. I think they're good players. You see, if you look at Warren, Warren doesn't have a great trait. He's a good pass receiver and route runner, and he's an average blocker. He's just a physical freak. But do I think he has great traits? I don't. Membu is 21 years old. He just turned 21. I don't know what he is. I watch him and I see his athleticism, and I think he reminds me a little bit of Tristan Wirfs because he ran under 5 and he's 320 pounds. So that would make sense. But I don't think either guy really changes anything for us. I don't. I think they're good players.
You don't think? No. Let me respond to that before you go to your next point. You don't think getting a right tackle and having potentially 5 guys above average on the offensive line at their positions makes the team better, especially if you have a running quarterback?
I like Membu, but at 7, I think you can get yourself a better player. And the trade I would make, and I would call Atlanta, because Atlanta covets Jalen Walker. I mean, Georgia's right in their backyard. They know that Carolina wants to take him at 8, and they need a pass rusher. They need a playmaker on defense. So
if we can get out, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the trade I think that would make sense.
I saw something today. I forget who tweeted it. I have really bad luck lately with opening up an app and then like moving down, getting busy at work, and then going back to something, and it refreshes on me. And I hate that. Instagram and Twitter both do that to me constantly. Yeah. But I saw something along the lines of teams. Carolina wants Jalen Walker at 8, and a lot of people believe that he won't be there. Now, if let's just play scenario here. Top 3 are Ward, Hunter, and Carter. Okay.
Obviously.
Let's say the Patriots go Genty.
Okay.
All right. Now at 5,
I think they go Graham if Genty's not there. I think Genty would be their pick at 5. Yeah.
And now with Genty gone and the Raiders there,
I think they would
Raiders
take Membu.
go. Do they go offensive line, or do they add Walker? Do they try to get an elite defense? And do they get that piece that they can use and add with? They already got 2 good pass rushers there. Do they add to that defense and put a guy who they can play at linebacker, off ball, the end? They can move around. He can be really, really fun. Or does somebody trade up? Do the Raiders now trade out because Genty's not there? And does somebody want to jump us to take one of the offensive linemen, or just Indy jump to get ahead of us to take Warren? Like, the draft will get really interesting.
I think San Francisco,
the draft starts at 4.
Yeah, I think San Francisco would be a team that would move up to get an offensive tackle. I think they have 11 or 12 picks, and they're at 11. And I could see them moving in front of us to get Membu. I like Membu, don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's a game changer. I honestly, I don't think there's really any. I think there's 3 stars in this draft, and that's Hunter. That's Carter, Hunter, and Genty. What else? Whatever you get after that are good players.
I agree with that.
They're good players.
I agree with that.
2 more points. As far as the Saints are concerned, I don't think they're taking a quarterback. I think they're gonna. I think I think their coach, the new coach, got that job and was given assurances that he could tear it down to the studs and start anew. So now that he hired Doug Nussmeier as his OC, I think his son's going to be their next quarterback next year. I do.
Yeah,
I think Garrett will be their quarterback next year. He's an LSU kid, and they would love to have him in that building.
I'm sure.
I could see Rattler starting this year. I think that team is going to be awful. I think they're going to be awful this year. Kellen Moore was given the assurance that he could start anew, build it the way he wants, because no one else wanted the job. He took the job because it was offered him, and there was no other jobs available. But he was given the assurance that he could build that offense the way he wants. And I just don't see any of the quarterbacks in this draft appealing to him. I just don't.
I don't see that. Like,
I don't think Sanders appeals to him. I don't think Dart appeals to him, and I don't think Milroe's his type of quarterback. I don't.
That's fair. I mean, you can see that. I didn't know Nussmeier's dad was the offensive coordinator, so that's news to me. I knew Moore got the job, but I didn't know who the offensive coordinator was. But that's interesting nugget to pay attention to. Do they go quarterback, and is it possible they go quarterback and they do what Arizona did several years ago, where they took Josh Rosen, and then after 1 year they're like, "Fuck this! All right, Kyler Murray."
I could see them going right tackle. I can see them going maybe a Banks, because they drafted Funga last year and played him at left tackle. So I can see them going again a right tackle. And finally, a point that I've been ridiculed for the last couple of months by Asman and other guys. I just don't see Breece Hall and Quincy Williams being Jets next year. And
I know you're big on that.
What the Jets?
Well, you mean in 2026, not this upcoming year?
26. I don't think either of those guys will be back. And what bothered me the most is the last 2 seasons when the team was crap, they let Bryce Huff and DJ Reed walk for nothing. So I'm of the belief, why not go get players early? Why not go get an asset early? When Sherwood got his money, it sent a sign that Quincy is not coming back, because I don't think he wants to employ 2 speedsters at linebacker, and I don't think they're gonna pay 2 inside linebackers $15 million each.
Agreed.
Because
and you could see them. You could see both of them gone by the trade deadline, right?
I could. I would love to trade.
Why wait for a comp pick? That would be 2027 if things don't go well. And you like the way Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis look, or maybe you add another back that you have practice squatted that you bring up. Maybe you make a move. Maybe you trade them away. Maybe you draft somebody to be a replacement to Quincy. Maybe you go a linebacker a little bit earlier than we think.
Yeah.
But I'd rather get the draft compensation in 26 than have to wait for comp picks in 27, which aren't guaranteed and might be lower. If you trade away to a contender, you might get someone who gives you a 3 or a 4, right?
You might
get some desperation. Maybe somebody has a major injury that takes place.
Yeah. And when we're talking about Jackson Dart, if I'm Jackson Dart, I would love to be coached by Sean McVay. That is the perfect situation.
100%.
It's if he gets to that team and gets mentored by Stafford for a year and a half and coached by McVay, that would be the ideal situation for him. So,
and as great as Sean McVay is, he's done it all with a non-mobile quarterback. Imagine how much his playbook expands if he gets a quarterback with mobility, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. I don't know if Dart lasts till then. We all know the Rams are willing to trade up, trade future picks. They are willing to do it all to get the guy that they want. I think they're a team to keep an eye on. It would be very normal for them to do it. It would be very uncharacteristic for Steelers to make those trades and jump. Usually Steelers and Ravens are very, very similar. Play the board, see who comes to us, take best player available. and take a guy that fits our scheme.
And one final point that we disagreed
Sure.
on the other day.
Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Big fella, good night. You are the fucking man. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will give you a gigantic hug when I see you Thursday. Thank you for everything, man.
One final comment, and we disagreed on this the other day.
Yeah.
If Mason Graham is there at 7,
Mm-hmm.
I would take him, and I would deal Quinnen. I would.
I know. I don't think you trade Quinnen. The cap hit would be $14 million this year, and then I think it's 8 and 8 after. I don't think you do that.
Those two can't play together. They just can't.
I know. That's
they're
why I think
similar
you just
players.
find somebody else.
If he is there at 7, and he might be the best. Again, if you're going to pick at 7, and this is where I argued with a lot of people on different shows, they're always telling me, take best player available of positions that you need. I don't believe in that. I think you take best player available. Perfect example.
Let me counter that point right there. Are you making your team better by drafting a guy and then trading one of your best players away at the same position? You're kind of just saying stagnant. You're not advancing your team through that process.
The difference is Mougey and Glenn are not married to any of these players.
Correct. I agree.
They're not. So,
but Graham is so similar to Quinnen.
He is.
It doesn't make sense.
I just feel the idea of drafting Graham and having the ability to restart the clock and trading Quinnen. Maybe Atlanta bites and gives us a pick this year and next year. I mean, they wanted him a couple of years ago when he was available. That's a team that would make sense.
I can't see it. I mean, I get it. I get the ideology of it, and I get your theory. I just don't get how it makes us better, short term or long term. Because now you still need another defensive tackle. You're creating a need for more guys. And now with Quinnen's contract, you're taking Graham at 7 and you're paying him $10 million a year. And then you got $14 million dead cap. You're still paying $24 million to a defensive tackle, and it's not Quinnen. So I don't see it. I could see maybe down the road.
So realistically, at 7, we're talking about guys who are realistic. We're not talking about Carter. And again,
hold on 1 second. Rick Kent, I owe you many hugs. So I'm keeping a little chalkboard with the Roman numeral, the little 5 count that you did. Not Roman numerals, but just the 4 ones and the cross. You're the man. Thank you. I love you. You're fantastic.
Who would be?
Go ahead.
Who would be? We're talking about realistic. Like Abdul Carter is going to the Giants, even though they have 2 edges. They are going to take him because he's the best player available. I would not be surprised if they trade Thibodeau after they draft Carter. So for the Jets, name me the 3 guys, if they're on the board there, anybody that in order, who would you take?
Well, Carter and Hunter are 1, 2.
But they're not going to be. I'm talking about realistic. They're not going to be there.
For me, right now,
realistic.
I'm like 50-50 on Membu and Warren. If I had to put a 3rd guy into that at 7,
Walker.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not ideal. And I just think that that's a player and a piece that could fit a creative scheme. I feel like Quincy and Sherwood are nice. I feel that Walker could be a difference maker. I feel that Walker could be used. Yeah, Walker is like, I'm not saying he's going to have the impact of Micah Parsons, but I think Walker, first of all, he's a Georgia guy. Everyone knows that. I absolutely love that about him. But I think that if you have a creative defensive coordinator who knows how to take a talent and move him around and use him and create opportunities for him to do what he can do, that's a guy that I would be ecstatic over. I'd be a little upset we didn't take the offense, and I'd be a little upset, but as soon as Jets fans saw what Jalen Walker could do, and as soon as you start hearing stories about how they're using him and they're moving him around and how advanced he is as a rookie, we'll forget about it real quick. When he's getting strip fumbles and he's blowing up as a linebacker, he's blowing up run plays in the backfield, and he's chasing down Josh Allen, we'll get over it real fucking quick.
But do you see, I think Walker might have more talent than the two guys you mentioned. I think the fan base might go nuts if they take him, because I don't think Warren or Membu are elite players. I think they're very good players. I think Walker has a chance. To be elite.
Let me say this: if the need was there at all three spots,
you would take Walker.
I would take Walker. Talent-wise, NFL-wise, I think Walker could be Carter, Genty, and Hunter. If you had to tell me pick a fourth guy from this class that you think is going to be a superstar, I would put Walker there before anybody else. But with where we are and what we need, it would be really interesting. It would be really interesting. I wouldn't hate it. I mean, like I said, I've watched the Georgia defender after Georgia defender go to the Eagles. And I've watched the Eagles build a defense that's tremendous with Carter and Davis and Nakobe Dean. And I forget the guy that they headed last year. I'm drawing a blank right now. But they have so many guys from Georgia. Coincidence that their defense is really good? No. So if we went that route, I get it. I could make a case for it. I know a lot of people would be going nuts, but this league's about two things, Alan. Protect the quarterback, hit the quarterback. And if you're adding another guy that helps you hit the quarterback, I don't see the problem with that. You look at teams that win the Super Bowl nowadays, they have multiple people that can get to the quarterback. You look at Philly. Philly sent guy after guy after guy, and they got there, and they got home. And as good as Kansas City's offensive line was, and as good as Creed Humphrey was, and as good as Joe Thuney and Trey Smith were, they were getting fucking dogged in the Super Bowl because Philly just kept sending body after body after body. So you got a good secondary in place with Sauce and Stevens and Carter. But now go fucking send the dogs, pun intended with Georgia. Let the dogs loose and let's just go get at the goddamn quarterback. And now we can cover on the back end.
The more I enjoyed watching Warren this year at Penn State, the more I think he might struggle on the next level. I don't know why. Nolan Smith, yeah, he's right. The more I think he might struggle on the next level because I don't think he gets separation. And that's where I worry about him. I think he could be a good inline blocker, and I think he could be effective as an inline receiver. You see, Loveland might not be the entire package, but Loveland has a trait that supersedes anything that Warren has. I think he's a phenomenal route runner. I don't think he's Bauer's talent, but Loveland is a phenomenal pass catcher. And you can't look at last year because Michigan had no quarterbacks last year, so that was a joke. But one final comment on Charles. I'll tell you one thing. Guy has a heart of gold. I'll tell you one thing. He has a heart of gold.
He does.
And I think he trusts too much, and I think that's the good reason what happened. But
that's part of it, right? That's part of the equation is that he wouldn't do anyone wrong, so he doesn't think anyone will do wrong, right? Like that's how he's wired. So the concept of somebody's out to get me never hit him because he would never be out to get anyone, you know?
That's true. But I was so impressed with his knowledge of the Jets. I was shocked because everybody looks at him and just goofs at him in some ways.
Yeah.
He is really knowledgeable. I was very impressed. I was.
Yeah. When he got the receivers drafted in 2017, even me and Nikki looked at one another and were like, holy shit. You asked a trivia question about 2017, the wide receivers. You muted yourself.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah, you asked a trivia question
It was about
2017.
Ardarius Stewart and Chad Hansen, and he
Yeah,
got it.
and he knew it, and I'm even like, holy shit, that was really good.
And finally, I really, over the last 3.5 months, I've really enjoyed your show due to
Thanks,
the
man.
fact that you bring logic with your takes. A lot of people, and this is where I have some issues with some other content creators, they have a lot of fanboy in them, and they don't think logically. They're like, oh, Aaron Rodgers needs to come back and we need to win 9 games. It made no sense, especially when you're blowing up your upper management and you're bringing in a new coach and an OC. It didn't make sense. I appreciate the logical takes.
Thanks, bud.
Again, I look at 2025 as sort of a retooling. I would not be surprised if they go 6-11, 5-10, 6-11. But the most important thing is they got to build a roster. That's the big problem.
Blitz says you did enjoy it before 3 months ago.
Because I did enjoy it, but the difference was I listened to your show and I listened to other shows, and I just felt that your show. Thank you, Blitz. I appreciate it. I listened to your show and I feel like you connected with me because I don't think as a homer. I don't think as a guy who wears Jets green goggles.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
And something I pride myself on. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm 46. When I was in my 20s, I was a fucking lunatic. I wouldn't be able to do this because I was out of my mind, you know, and I was that crazy screaming and yelling fan. So life has worn me down. Life has changed me. My bad decisions life have changed how I approach everything now. I used to be rageful, irrational, and illogical. And something that I've done for the last 25 months is change how I look at things. Instead of that spontaneous outburst reaction, I now kind of take a step back and I look at everything from every perspective. I put the shoe on the other foot, right? And I look at it from a player perspective, an organization perspective, ownership. And then last, I put the fans, because the fans' opinion is the least important. Now, I know people might not like to hear that, but when it comes to what the decisions the organization is making, they're going to do what's right for the organization, in their opinions. They're not going to worry about the fanfare. They're not going to worry about the court of public opinion. You know, you get hired to do a job, you do the job, and you lay out the blueprint of what you think can take this team to the highest possible level as soon as possible. And you don't cut off your nose to spite your face. You don't appease people. That's how you get fired. And I just saw, looking at it, there would be no logical reason in my mind to keep Aaron Rodgers. The new regime was not going to want to build around an older quarterback. They weren't going to want to deal with the things that come with them. They wanted to let them know, we're leading this way. We're going to change the direction. I thought getting a mobile quarterback, and you've heard me say Justin Fields long before he was signed, was the guy that I thought they would go after, because it allows them to get to that. Even if he's not the greatest passer, you have that running quarterback as a weapon now, which a lot of teams have. I keep saying the final 4 teams this year were Washington with Daniels, Philly with Hurts, Baltimore, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar went deep in the playoffs. You're looking at all these guys and teams that have the pocket passer. Burrow didn't make the playoffs. Stafford didn't go far. Goff didn't go far. You know, it's a different day in the NFL.
Yeah. I also do feel bad for old school Jet fans who just want one last hurrah, and they're not thinking logically. They're thinking, I just want to see them win. And they're not going through the correct process in building an organization. And bringing Rodgers back would have kept this team stagnant. And it just wouldn't have made any sense. It wouldn't have made any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't get the statement that some fans try to make saying we can win 9-10 games with Rodgers. We had Rodgers last year with a loaded roster, and we only won 5. How are we writing in pen it would have been 9-10 wins with Rodgers this year. Like,
And
he's
pretend they
not
would
going to
have,
run the same system. He's not going to be happy. He would have ended up being a malcontent. That's why you move on.
and by some miracle they make the playoffs. Okay, you think that team's going to Buffalo or Baltimore? They'd get absolutely boat raced in either of those games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But Nick, it's been a pleasure. I will speak to you again in September. Keep up the good work, and hopefully
Well, I hope we talk before then.
We will. I'm talking about
on
on air.
Well, thank you for calling, and thank you again for lunch the other day. It was a pleasure breaking bread with you, even though I don't have bread. It was a pleasure eating with you, and I can't wait till you're back up here again. And next time, don't rip the check away from me. I got the next one.
I appreciate it. Have a good one, man.
You're the man, buddy. Feel better.
Okay. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go from one Texan to another. What's up, Gary?
What up, Nick?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Alan's a really good guy, one-on-one, isn't he? He's a really good dude. Yeah,
he's great.
People like to hate on him. He's a really good dude. He's a really good guy.
He is. You know, I never had Alan as a cigar smoker, and we sat outside and smoked a cigar. So it's when you smoke a cigar with me, like you're bonded with me for life. That's like,
I'll smoke a cigar with you, Nick.
Hell yeah, dude. You come up, man. Definitely.
I used to smoke a lot of cigars. Now I just smoke one once in a while with the right person. I'll smoke a cigar with you, Nick. I like cigars.
I used to smoke it at night, but now, like, there's nights I come home and it's like, oh man, it's nice weather. I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing a show instead. I'm not gonna go outside at 1 o'clock in the morning and light one up. But give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. As we're on the phone here, on the call here with Gary, let's start getting our what did we learns ready. But go ahead, what you got, buddy?
First, yeah, you mentioned it that I'm against John A. Barron as much as anyone. I heard that. I missed the beginning of Jake's show. I didn't hear this, and I just thought they were talking about Will Johnson. I'm like, Will Johnson's a hell of a player. I wouldn't hate it. And he's like, well, what about Barron? I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. He's like, well, that's who they're talking about. I'm like, he's inside corner. I just don't get it at all. Like,
I don't.
If you took him at 27, I would say that's probably too high. At 7, it's not even fathomable. Where does that come from? Is that just?
I don't know. I'm pulling up Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft to see where he has him going. I'm a big Jeremiah fan. I know I mentioned with Jake last night. He's got us taking Membu. He's got Barron going 11th to the 49ers.
I've seen him go anywhere from 10 to in the second round. So I don't know. I guess that the opinion on him varies a lot.
5'11", 194. So he's not like a big hitter.
He's not a physical guy. He's fast.
So he's not like a Brian Branch type, right? Branch is that physical. Yeah, I don't get it, man.
He's not good in press coverage, obviously. Like, it's just, and then, like, Nate asked me this too, and someone else put in the scouting report, move him to safety. I can't see that at all. I don't know. Like, he wasn't anywhere on my radar at all. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I can't make logic of it. I can't. Maybe the only thing is that if teams like a 49ers think we're going, it's a smokescreen to get them to trade up because he might be in play with us. Maybe you get someone to overpay to go up and get that player. But I mean, man, you would see a side of me that fans usually don't see when it comes to my takes. I would be angry.
I can't see that happen. I mean, I guess more shocking things have happened in the history of the draft. I just I couldn't see us. First, if it was a weakness of ours, okay, and they overdrafted him, I'd be against it, but at least I'd understand it. But you're overdrafting a player into a strength. It's like, I wanted my brother-in-law is a huge Bears fan. My wife's whole family, massive Bears fans. He sent me this. The 7th pick and the 110th pick. For the Bears' 10th pick and the 41st pick. So we would get 10 and 41 and send out 7 and 110. Would you do that?
So we trade our 1 and 110 as our 4th for their 1st and 2nd.
First, and they have 2 seconds, so it would be the later of their 2 seconds. Yeah.
I think they have 39 and 41.
41.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Done. Right.
Yeah. Easy. No brainer. You're moving back 3 spots, and then you're moving up from a 4th round to a 2nd rounder, and now you have 4 of the top 73. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And then you're not done yet. Who's to say you don't move more to get the 4th rounder back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
Absolutely.
They want Genty bad. The Bears really want Genty.
I don't think he gets past the Patriots. I think the Patriots shock everybody. Mike Vrabel won with an average quarterback in Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Go get your Derrick Henry. Go get your guy that you can just give the ball to. And then if you need offensive line, you could take one in the beginning of round 2. Go build everything that May needs to succeed. Not that I'm rooting for the Patriots to do well, but again, putting on my logic hat and looking at it, Vrabel had a style of football he liked in Tennessee. Genty allows you to play that style of football from day one.
Genty's a beast. Like, that's why if he fell to us at 7 and they took him again, it wouldn't be my pick.
It would take me his first 65-yard touchdown run until I was on board. I would have to wait to see it,
He's I get it doesn't make a ton of sense, but okay, we have a very mobile quarterback. We have Brees. And now we have a backfield of 3 guys who could take off with the ball and run. I don't know that it would work, but it would be fun seeing how they try to work. I've said this on Jake's show. Ohio State plays a lot of split gun with 2 backs and Fields in the gun.
Yep.
Can we recreate? Would it work in the NFL? I don't know. We've never really seen it a lot. You use it one play, but we've never seen teams run split guns as their primary package. If you have the right personnel, which they would have, do you try it? Maybe.
I think that great coaching always comes down to coach the team you have, not the team you want.
Right.
Where you can have your premise, you can have your ideology, you can have your looks that you like to go to that fit any personnel. Then you got to coach to what you have and the strengths that those players have, and how do you expose the defense, and how do you get those guys in the best scenarios to succeed. So there comes a fine mix of coaching. If you're like I said the other day, square peg, square hole, round peg, round hole, and you don't know how to mold and shift and change and adapt and evolve, you get fired. Adam Gase was like that. I was going to do this. We run 9 yards behind the fucking Frank Gore, 9 yards behind the fucking line of scrimmage doing a dive. Didn't work. It did work previously, but that was when you had Peyton Manning at quarterback. So you can do those things, as Peyton Manning would beat you with the play action and throw the ball downfield and expose the defense if you bit on the run. So you had to evolve to the team that you had with Darnold, and he never did that. He was trying to make him Peyton Manning, and he wasn't there because the coaching wasn't there to develop him, and the talent wasn't there. So it was, if I had to give you a prediction right now, Genty at 4 is my big take of the draft. I'll give you one other one. The Bears go to 3 with the Giants, and the Bears jump the Patriots. The Bears with this number 10 and the 2 2s pay to go up ahead of the Patriots and shake the whole fucking draft up and take Genty at 3 ahead of the Patriots because they think that he's going to go there. Now the Giants, if it's Carter, you got Burns, you got Thibodeau. Could you then move back in the draft and then end up with somebody like Jalen Walker? Or, if you're the Giants, you land Will Johnson. Do you move back, get extra picks, and then get a boatload of talent to put on that team, which they need? So it would basically be you'd have the 10th pick, and then you'd have 3 2s to build the fucking New York Giants.
You can start, yeah. That would I was saying, if Warren fell at 10, would the Giants draft Warren at 10?
I mean, you got Neighbors, you got Tracy, who wasn't bad. You get Warren, and now you still have picks in the second round. You can add another offensive lineman. You can add a cornerback. You can now trade up into round one if somebody falls who you really like. There's a lot. I think you're going to see teams in the top 10 maybe trade out and not get the typical value we normally see teams get off the Jimmy Johnson trade value chart just to get out. I don't know. That would be my two takes. They're both Genty related. Someone trades up to jump the Patriots, or the Patriots take them if the Giants stick and pick.
Where do you think Sanders falls to?
I could really see him falling to the Steelers at 21.
I think
that's his floor, right? That's the farthest I see him. Furthest I see him falling. Yeah,
I kind of see that because I would be in no rush to take a quarterback this year with the draft class they have next year. Like that's why the Giants. I think they did the smart thing. Like it looked like they got to draft Sanders at 3. Then they got these two kind of guys that can just hold until next year, right? Like if we get Russ and we get Winston, I can go 8 and 9. That's a 4-win improvement. I can keep my job, and then next year I can get my quarterback. I think that's well
I could see the Rams jumping for Dart. I could see the Saints taking Dart. I know Allen doesn't, but I could see the Saints taking him. I think as soon as one goes, you're going to see some action for the other one, though. If they both start to slide together, there's no panic, right? If you're okay with taking either, you wait it out.
The problem is, Sanders has no upside. And I don't think Dart is ready to play in the NFL, right? So there's so much pressure on these guys to have them, especially if you take them in the first round, to start them year one. I think that's a massive mistake for Dart. And you can start Sanders year one.
How about the Giants? How about the Giants trade back? I know it goes against everything I said because nobody trades back to then draft their franchise quarterback. You stay or you jump. You don't take the chance if that's your guy. But if you want to take Sanders or Dart and you're the Giants and somebody wants to trade up, why not? Now you got your quarterback. Now if it's the Bears, say, for example, now you have 3 2s to build for that quarterback. And you got Wilson and Winston to sit there. And you got Winston on a 2-year deal to be the mentor for 2 years.
Next year, yeah.
Why not? And then if you got to start Winston next year and then go to Dart or Sanders. But I don't think the Giants take the quarterback at 3, but maybe somebody buys their pick and then they capitalize down the road.
The Bears at 10 trade up to get Genty.
I think Genty goes 3 or 4. I really do. I think Genty is that. Barkley went top 4. Leonard Fournette.
When did Bijan go?
Ezekiel Elliott. Bijan went 7, I think, Atlanta.
7. Genty's better than that.
He was a top 10. McCaffrey, I think, went 8th. You've seen guys who've been labeled to be the top running backs go in the top 10. Do I agree with it?
Part, they've worked out. They've hit on most of them. Yeah.
Matthew Little Fuck Smith said Bijan went 8.
8.
Hennessy thinks he'll go 6th. But I think Genty goes earlier because I think people.
He's a beast.
I don't want to see him in New England. I don't. I hope the fucking Bears go up and get him. I hope somebody just jumps.
And May together, it's just they're starting to really build something. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want that, especially knowing how we don't stop the run well yet.
Yeah.
All right, Gary. Thank you for calling in, man. I haven't eaten. I'm doing a fast.
How long have you fasted?
I'm on hour 27 right now.
So you're on 24. You're good. Yeah, you're good.
I ate a couple pickles and some cheese last night when my show ended, when we were in the Discord talking at 11:30, and that was the last time I ate. Was 26 hours ago.
That's good.
So I didn't eat it all today. I'm trying to kickstart burning again, because even though I've been eating healthy and I haven't really been taking any carbs in, I want to kickstart it and get back to the burning and get into the ketosis. So I'm going to try to wait until Wednesday at 4 o'clock. I'm going to try it. So it'll be like 64 hours, but I'm trying.
My wife does 5-day fast. I have epilepsy. If I don't eat, I'll have seizures. So I never go past 48. Like 48 is my cutoff.
Yeah.
But my wife's done like 5-day fasts. I think she did a 6-day fast. I'm not doing that. But it's really it's good for you. It's good.
Yeah. I'm trying. Like I said, I got down to 270 real fast. I went from 313 to 270. I lost 43 pounds in like 54 days between October 29th to December.
That's a lot of weight. Like, go to Home Depot. Look at a 40-pound bag of mulch. Yeah. Be like, I lost that. That's a lot of weight, man. Yeah. That's really good. That's good.
And I've been tinkering in the 270s. I'll go up a couple. I'll come down a few. And I can't get into the 260s. So I'm at 273 now. And I just said, fuck it. I'm going to do a fast. Let me see if I can get to Wednesday. I got through today. I drink coffee a lot. You know, the Tim Hortons maple, which I love. Shout out to Boom and all the Canadians. But I love it. And every 2 hours I had a coffee today. So I had one at 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Every 2 hours I had coffee today, and I'm good.
That's how I drink coffee.
So I'm not hungry, but I really want to get off the show and just go right into the bed, because I know if we get in the Discord, we're hanging out and I'm listening, I'm just going to.
You're going to start eating.
Let me go get some cheese. Let me get some pickles. Yeah. Let me have something. So
I'm gonna jump off because I don't want to be the reason why you ruin your fast.
Nah, you're good. I'm
gonna head out, boss. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. Man. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate you as always, bro.
Appreciate you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I know I just threw a couple curveballs at Boom there with that information at the end. He's probably compiling another "What did we learn?" But yeah, I'm trying to. My goal right now is I was 273.8 this morning. I'd like to get to 260 by Memorial Day. And then I want to be at 245 by the 4th of July. I played high school basketball at 223. If I can get down to 245, and then if I get to 245 by 4th of July, and then get to 240 a couple weeks later and just stay and never get above 240. And if I could hit 245, I could fast again, knowing that I could do it, I'd be really happy. And my diabetes would be really, really in great shape. Our buddy Hawk asked the question, how do we feel about Tet at 7? I hate it. I hate it, Hawk. I don't think he's worth a 7. It's not, I'm not big on the receivers in this draft early. I think there's not much of a difference for me between the first round wide receiver and a third round wide receiver. So I'd rather take a different position and land a receiver later. If you told me Tet can add 12 pounds of muscle and can be Mike Evans who can pull that ball down, I'd be more likely to, but I don't know how he's going to do that. I don't. Congratulations to Clancy, who took a nap and fasted for 5 hours earlier. Nice job, buddy. Thanks, Chris. Excuse me. Yeah, if I get to 240, I lost 142 pounds. I basically lost everything I gained in adult life, which would be great. Chris, thanks for watching, man. And I'll be on tomorrow night when I get out of work. So 11:20 again, Eastern time tomorrow. Yeah, Hennessy. I think people bought into the hype more, and more film study got on to him. There's not much separation. He's not great with contested balls. And the league is changing now. It's all about guys like Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson, guys who are quick and can get open in short little windows and get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quicker because of the size and the speed and the ferocity of the defensive lines coming after the quarterback. You don't have time to wait for a big body receiver to run an 8-yard slant. You need a guy who can fake outside, cut back inside, get the ball on him at 2 yards, and let him run to get those extra yardage before the safety comes up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Boomtown, would you please drop what you learned? And I will tell all of you, I learned again how fucking awesome this community is. And I thank all of you for the support that you give me and showing up day after day to just listen to this Jets fan talk about his favorite team in the world. It means the world to me, and you guys and gals will never, ever understand how grateful I am for all of you. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself a lot of times. So thank you for taking a shot on this channel and continuing to come back time after time. You guys are the fucking best. Boomtown learned Knob will be seeking various 2-for-1 deals this weekend. If you give details, you are a crybaby shit bastard. Beastbreaker has a huge rectal cavity, according to Little Joey. Bonus, the big fella is not fucking around tonight. Addison supplied his own smoke tonight. He's got an endless supply. Nick was entertained, not edutained tonight. Well done, Addison, Rick Kent, and the big fella. You fucking legends. Absolutely. Double bonus, Weed marches to the beat of a very special drummer. Hard hoses are a concern for Ricky. Charles raised Alan's body temperature to 102. Square pegs and round holes are key. Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. Boom. We salute you. Shout out to the greatest note taker in all the land. And thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. I know Big Fella, Rick Kent, and maybe Addy all left by now, but that was absolutely tremendous. What you guys did tonight, that's the biggest donation show that I've ever had, pretty much by far. So that was, I'm honored. I absolutely am. And you guys saw it. There's not many things that happen on the show where I get speechless, and I was absolutely speechless with that. So if you need me, I will be busy for the next hour typing their names over and over and over again. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. God bless. Thank you for watching. Go Jets. And we will go with this, since we just talked about it.
Hey, all you shiners, it's time for something cool. I'm here to do my part. I'll drop a stinky fart. No chicken soup for you. I'm gonna eat it up. And then I'll do a show and talk about the Green Hornet. I got a new laptop. You know it doesn't suck. I'll need to keep it down when I'm making too much noise. My mom will pull the plug and Dennis smack my ass, and that will surely blow. Hey, fuckers, it's time for the Nick Shine Show.
Also, I forgot, everyone in the chat, please say happy birthday to Hawk. Hawk, happy birthday, buddy.
It's got beef.
Gentry covered in bumble. Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime as Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't